Hello, Vanya. Could you get divorced with my Gino for me?
Huh? Who is this even? And why do you want me to get divorced with my husband?
My Gino. You know who this is just by those words, right?
Is this Laura? Gino's previous wife? Gino told me about you. Wait, how did you even get my contact information?
Yes. So you do know me after all. It's not important how I got your contact information. You see, it's already been decided that me and Gino are going to get married again. Well, that's the situation, I guess, so hurry up and get divorced with him for me, will you?
Does this mean that even though Gino was already married with me, he got back together with you behind my back?
Yep. Which is why I need you to get divorced with him, all right?
You say that so easily, but this is the first time I'm hearing anything about this. I don't even know what you look like, Laura, which means that I don't know if you're actually Gino's ex-wife either.
Oh, so you're not going to believe me?
I mean, think about it. No one's going to divorce their husband based on what some random person told them by text. Besides, I heard that Gino and his ex-wife got divorced because she cheated on him multiple times. Why would he want to get back together with someone like that anyways?
Ah, so that's what's bothering you.
Is any part of what I said not true?
You see, when me and Gino were married, he would always tell me that he never wanted to get divorced with me. Probably because he fell for my high-level techniques. He never wanted to get divorced with me in the first place, but his parents, on the other hand, both of them were pretty serious people, and they were probably concerned about how it would affect their image if their son's wife kept cheating on him. Which is why they told Gino to get divorced with me, a wife that keeps cheating, and make me pay him an alimony.
Well, I guess that's how a normal person would react. But Gino himself never mentioned anything about this, although, if what you're saying is true, I understand why he never told me.
That's not it, though. You see, at the time, I was currently dating a CEO who ran his own company, and he kept telling me he wanted to marry me. I wanted to get divorced with Gino soon, who only had an average salary anyways. So it was the perfect timing his parents made him divorce me.
Is that so? I'll try to figure out whether what you're telling me is the truth, but thanks for giving me all this information.
Huh? What even is that? You're not even going to act surprised that your husband just got stolen from you?
To be honest, I am a bit shocked, but it's not like I know for sure yet. Like I said, I'm not about to believe what some random person I've never met says to me by text. While we're at it, though, I have one more question for you. It's about 6 years ago that you got divorced with Gino, right?
Yep. It's already been 6 years, huh? How time flies.
I see. You divorced him because he had only an average salary, right? Why are you suddenly trying to get back together with him 6 years later then?
What? You seriously can't guess for yourself? It's because Gino became rich. Of course I want to get back together with him now.
What? Gino became rich? Where did you get that information?
There's no point trying to hide it to me, because I already know. I heard from an acquaintance of mine that my father-in-law, Gino's father that is, quit his job as an office worker and started his own company around 5 years ago. Not only that, but I heard that Gino inherited his father's company 1 year ago, and the company's been growing rapidly ever since.
I see. Please tell me more.
What I'm trying to say is that Gino's now the second CEO of the company his father founded, and a rapidly growing company at that, meaning that he's rich. You see, the Gino I knew never earned that much money, but he was handsome, so I forgave him for it. It was truly his only flaw. I always thought to myself, if only he was rich on top of everything else, then he would be the perfect husband. And apparently my wish came true.
I'm going to ask you directly. This means that you stole him from me because you were after his money, right?
Yep. I don't care what you say. Gino's mine now. I mean, I had always thought to myself that I would get back together with him if he ever became rich. So hurry up and give him back to me, all right? Oh, and Gino's going to pay for the alimony or whatever, so hurry up and get divorced with him, all right? Vanya, did you still not get divorced with Gino? You said that you were going to ask Gino whether what I was telling you was true, but shouldn't that be over by now? I really don't think this is that complicated, you know.
Hello, Laura. I asked Gino about it, and he admitted to cheating on me, but...
You see? Now that you're done, hurry up and get divorced with him. Or is it that you're just stalling?
Sorry, but it's really not that simple. And no, I'm not stalling.
What do you mean this isn't that simple? Your husband cheated on you and wants to get back together with me. Which means that I need you to get divorced with him as soon as possible. What could be more simple than that?
You see, if me and Gino are going to get divorced, it's going to affect the business at the company at least a little. I'm currently in the process of talking to him about what to do about it, and I invited his father to join our discussion.
Huh? So that's why it's taking so long? Ugh! This sounds like it's going to take a long time.
Yep. You see, it's probably a lot more complicated than you think.
Oh, that reminds me. You work at the same company as Gino, right?
Well, yes.
Is that so? Well, I get what you're trying to say. It'll be difficult for you to remain at the company after you get divorced with Gino, right? None of this has anything to do with me, though. But still, it is kind of entertaining, I will admit. Not only did I steal your husband from you, but I also made you lose your job. That's kind of hilarious. I'm such a naughty woman.
That's not really what I was talking about when I said it was a lot more complicated than you think.
Whatever, just hurry up and get divorced with him. I'm going to give you one more week, huh? Hey, answer my calls! Vanya! I haven't been able to contact Gino at all recently. Do you know anything about this? This was your doing, wasn't it? You know something, right?
Sorry, I didn't see your texts until now.
Finally, you replied.
Yes, I was still at work. Let me see. You can't contact Gino or something?
You know something about this, don't you? Don't tell me, but you aren't keeping him locked up in your home and monitoring him because you don't want to get divorced with him or something, are you?
It's not me that's keeping him locked up in his house and monitoring him, but what you're saying is mostly correct.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about?
It's not me who's monitoring him, but his parents. Gino's parents, that is.
Damn it. I knew this smelled like trouble. Hey, couldn't you have told his parents about it right after you two got divorced or something? Seriously, why'd you have to go and make things difficult for me? I mean, it's not like the company's going to collapse or something just because you're going to quit, you know? You ever heard the phrase, anyone could take your place?
Well, I'm sorry to say this, but there aren't any replacements for me at the present moment.
Huh? You think too much of yourself.
Anyways, Laura, I have some questions for you myself. You work at S Corporations, right?
Oh yeah, I just joined that company half a year ago. Well, I'm going to be the wife of a CEO soon, so I'm going to quit though. From now on, I'm going to live a life of luxury, and I'll never have to work a day in my life again. Wait, hold on. How do you know I work at S Corporations? Did you seriously hire an investigation on me or something?
No. Gino told me about it. Anyways, if you do work at S Corporations, then you must know the tea trading company, right?
Of course I do. That's Gino's company.
Do you know that the tea trading company is a business partner of S Corporations, the place you work at?
Of course I know. I mean, that's how I got reunited with Gino in the first place. I went to visit the office of Tea Trading Company with my manager, and that's where fate brought us together again. What's with all these weird questions anyways, huh?
Is that so? What you've told me right now is almost completely consistent with what Gino told me. Thank you for your cooperation.
And you're going to get divorced with him, right? If you don't get divorced with him soon, I can't become the wife of a CEO like I intend to, you know?
While I am going to eventually get divorced with Gino, I don't really think you're going to be that excited once I do. You say that you know the tea trading company, but you're seriously still talking about becoming the wife of the CEO?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Laura, have you not noticed yet?
What haven't I noticed? That you're even more of a hassle than I initially thought?
No. I'm going to ask you one more time, just in case. Who is the CEO of the tea trading company?
Gino is.
I see. This is just...
Huh? What are you even talking about, Vanya? Stop trying to act all calm and tough. You're the loser, so just accept it and give up. Gino's mine now, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, you can do whatever you want with Gino after I get divorced with him, as long as you pay me the alimony I'm going to be asking of you. But I have something to tell you that might shock you. The CEO of the trading company isn't Gino.
Huh? But his father was the founder, and Gino's his only son, right? What do you mean he isn't the CEO?
It's one of your company's business partners, right? You really should at least know who the CEO is.
Oh my god! Are you seriously not going to give up yet? Gino's father founded that company, so of course his only son, Gino, inherited it after he resigned from his position as the CEO. Do I really need to explain that to you? Just because you don't want to give up your position as the CEO's wife doesn't mean you can lie and try to scare me like this, you know? You're even more pathetic than I thought, Vanya. Although I do understand why you don't want to let go of Gino.
Don't worry, you'll have him all to yourself soon enough. I've made my decision. You two are both getting fired.
Huh? Have you seriously gone crazy? What do you mean we're fired? Who are you, the queen or something? Hold on. What you told me yesterday was true? Gino isn't the CEO of Tea Trading Company? Not only that, but you're actually the CEO? Just what kind of dirty tricks did you do to get into that position? Hold on. Ew. You fucking pervert, Vanya. You seriously laid your hands on...
I am going to stop you right there before you say something extremely offensive. All I did was work hard as one of the company's employees. You see, in normal situations, my father-in-law would still be the CEO of the tea trading company. And there was also a period when he was planning on making Gino the next CEO, depending on whether he was fit for the job or not. But last year, my mother-in-law suddenly started getting hip pains, and someone needed to take care of her. That's why my father-in-law decided to take a step back from his position at the company and take care of his wife instead. He's now on the board of directors and still sometimes visits the company.
Huh? But none of what you told me right now explains why you became the CEO and not Gino.
I told you that he was planning on making Gino the next CEO, depending on whether he was fit for the job or not, right? You see, Gino's father's training of Gino to become the next CEO was abruptly stopped because his father had to resign from his position to take care of his wife. Which is why he instead decided to find the next CEO from one of the other employees in the company. Someone who understood well how its internal and external affairs worked. I was already working as one of the company's executives, which is part of why Gino's father chose me to become the next CEO.
Huh? You were one of T Company's trading executives? But you're still in your early 30s, right? You were chosen for an executive position at that age?
Well, it's true that your current reaction isn't exactly an unusual one, but... You see, I worked under Gino's father at our previous company, which means that I was actually acquainted to Gino's father before I was acquainted to Gino himself. He asked me whether he wanted to join the new company he was going to found, and I agreed. Which means that I was one of T Trading Company's founding members. I was an executive at this company since it was founded, you see. That's also around when I started going out with Gino, since his mother introduced him to me soon after the company was founded. We got married a few months later.
Seriously? But Gino never told me any of this.
He never told you, or you never asked because you just assumed he was the CEO. Anyways, I think it would be better for you to think about what you're going to do about yourself from now on, rather than worrying about my past.
What? What are you trying to tell me? This can't be happening. I'm fired?
Oh, so you finally got word. By the way, Gino was also fired at T Trading Company.
What? Why? Don't tell me you got both of us fired just because he cheated on you, did you? Don't mix your private affairs with the office. Just because you're the CEO or whatever doesn't give you the right to do this to us.
It's not that I'm mixing my private affairs with the company's affairs. You two repeatedly used company cars to go on drive dates, right? Not only that, but you would often not come to work entirely and go to love hotels with said cars.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not only that, but you two would use the business trips our company set you up on as a sort of vacation multiple times, right?
I said I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that so? But we have evidence in the form of footage caught on cameras set inside the company cars, so it's no use trying to deny it.
There was proof? Damn it.
Oh, and this is going to be unrelated to the company's affairs, but I'm going to make you two pay me an alimony for adultery. I'll be contacting you about this through a lawyer at a later date.
Huh? Oh, that's right. You were going to make us pay an alimony, right?
Like I already said, Gino was already fired from his job, so I think it would be best if you consider that alimony as something that you yourself has to pay. As I don't think Gino has that much money in his bank account either.
Vanya, forgive me and don't make me pay an alimony. I'll give Gino back to you, so let's just forget that any of this ever happened.
Sorry, but I don't want him anymore. Like I promised, he's all yours now.
But there's no point anymore now that I know he's not the CEO. Not only that, but he's unemployed.
But weren't you the one who kept bugging me to get divorced with him so you could have him for yourself? Well, that's all I wanted to tell you, so goodbye. I'm going to be blocking this account, so please contact me through my lawyer from now on. After Gino and I got divorced, he immediately went to Laura's apartment as his parents also wouldn't let him live in their house. But apparently, Laura already had another boyfriend. And I don't think I need to tell you what followed after was quite a scene. Despite now knowing that Laura had another boyfriend, Gino had zero intention of breaking up with Laura. But since Laura doesn't find any value in men who don't have any money, she ultimately threw him out of her house as well. To get revenge for this, Gino told the wife of Laura's other boyfriend about how her husband was cheating on her. And because of this, Laura was forced to pay another alimony on top of the one she had to pay me. I have no idea how this happened, but apparently Gino managed to make Laura sign some marriage papers and he turned those into the city hall behind her back. The kind of willpower he must have had to bind Laura into marrying him by taking advantage of her crippling debt. If only he was this passionate about his work as well. Laura instinctively knew that she wouldn't be able to get away unharmed if she tried resisting Gino. And so it seems that she now spends every day shaking in fear while also constantly being reminded of all the money she had to pay off.
OMG, I'm so proud of you, honey. I can't believe my baby boy is all grown up and graduating high school. When did you get so big?
How is it you can embarrass me even over text?
A mom is just able to do these things. It's all part of being a parent, lol.
But in all honesty, thanks, Mom. I really couldn't have done this without you. I mean, you were there to help me every time I didn't understand something, and you helped me study my worst subjects. I really don't know what I would have done without your support.
Oh, stop. You're going to make me cry. Has your father messaged you yet? I told him that he needed to and reminded him what an important day this was for you.
As if he'd messaged me. You know what he's like, Mom. He doesn't care if I graduate or not. I'm just glad you remembered.
As if I'd forget. Here, I'll message your dad and remind him again. You know how busy he gets at work, so he's probably just not had the time to get to his phone yet.
You really shouldn't bother. I honestly don't care if he congratulates me or not.
Nonsense. Oh, and don't open your present yet when you get home. I want us all to be together when you do it, okay?
Okay, I promise.
Thank you, hun. Hey, Rick, sweetie, have you had the chance to talk to Thomas today? It is his graduation day, after all.
Oh yeah, that's today, isn't it? No, I've not had the time to talk to him yet.
Oh, well, maybe you could give him a message or a call now, just to say congratulations. You missed the ceremony this morning, so it would be nice for him to have some words of congratulations from you.
I'll do it in a bit. I'm busy at the moment.
It'll only take a moment. I mean, you're talking to me right now. Just send him a message.
I just said that I don't want to right now. Not to mention that you're bothering me at the minute too.
What?
God, I just about had it with your constant whiny nature. Come to think about it, actually, now that Thomas has graduated from high school, he'll be off to college soon, right?
Yeah, you know he will. He's gotten into one of the best colleges possible. He told us all of this ages ago. He's got a scholarship and he's going to study to become a lawyer.
So he's gonna be earning quite a lot of money then.
I guess. What's this got to do with anything?
Well, it just means that I no longer have any use for you.
What?
Yeah, I only really kept you around so that you could raise Thomas. I've never really wanted kids, so I thought the best way of being able to live my life as normally as possible was to have you raise him. But now that he's older, he can help me out in my old age. I'll even be able to retire early on his wage. He can set me up in a nice house and stuff.
What are you on about? Are you seriously trying to tell me that the only reason you bothered to stay around with me and Thomas was so that you could ensure your retirement plan when you were older?
And? What of it? Look, like I said, I have no use for you anymore, so I'm getting a divorce.
A divorce?
Yeah, it's not that difficult to understand. I don't love you and I don't want to be with you anymore. I mean, honestly, what use are you to anyone now? You haven't had a job in years, I've had to carry this family. You have no skills. The best you could do is check out, girl. And I don't want you lounging around my house all day now that you got no kid to deal with.
Dang, why are you being so vile?
Well, honestly, I'm saying that I don't want a pathetic, old woman like you in my life anymore. Is that easy enough to understand?
But I thought you loved me. We've been married for almost 20 years.
You thought wrong. Why would anyone love you? Maybe if you'd actually made something of yourself, but it's far too late for you to do that now. You're just a useless housewife, and I don't want you anymore.
I can't believe that I actually married a horrible man like you. Where's the Rick who I fell in love with? Who wanted to marry me all those years ago?
He was an idiot who didn't see how much you'd actually drag him down. Look, just make this easy for the both of us, sign the divorce papers, and leave. I'm sure Thomas doesn't want a loser of a mother hanging around any longer either. There's no way he wouldn't be embarrassed to introduce any girlfriends he gets in college to you. He wouldn't want them to think that he's just as stupid and useless as you.
I'm not useless or stupid. And if you think I'm just going to give you an easy divorce and let you get away with everything you've been saying, then you've got another thing coming. Oh, and I know all about you cheating on me, by the way.
What? How?
Did you really think that I was that stupid? You're not exactly the best at sneaking around. It was obvious that you were hiding something, and it only took a little bit of digging to discover the truth. It was kind of pathetic, actually.
Yeah? Well, it doesn't matter because she's the one I want to be with, not you. Who's the pathetic one now, huh?
From where I'm standing, it's still you. You couldn't even be bothered to come and attend your own son's graduation. Only a truly worthless father would do something like that unless he had a proper reason. You just wanted to go and waste time with your new girlfriend.
How did you know I was with her?
Like I said, do you really think that I'm that stupid?
Oh, whatever. Just sign the divorce papers when they get to you. Now leave me alone.
Whatever. Hey Thomas, I tried to message your dad, but I couldn't get a hold of him. Don't worry though, I'm sure he'll congratulate you soon. But tonight we can celebrate by going out or something. Does that sound okay?
That sounds great, Mom. And you don't need to cover for Dad anymore, you know? I know that he's probably off blazing somewhere and that he simply can't be bothered with me. It's fine though, because now that I'm old enough, I can't be bothered with him either.
Sweetie, are you sure that you want to close your relationship with your dad off like that?
He hasn't been there for the past 18 years of my life. Why should I care about him for the next 20 of his?
Well, it's your decision, but for now let's celebrate.
Okay, I'll be home soon.
I'll see you soon then. I love you.
Love you too, Mom. Hey, Mom, how come you never told me that you and Dad were getting a divorce?
Oh, so your dad told you about that?
Yeah, why didn't you?
I didn't want to ruin your graduation. It was such a special occasion that I didn't want to bring the mood down. I'm sorry.
It's okay, but just so you know, I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
What? You don't?
No, he was a lousy dad and a poor husband. He treated you rubbish. I wouldn't be surprised if he had been cheating on you with someone so much worse in both personality and looks. He can never get with someone as great as you.
Well, he apparently has been seeing another woman. But are you sure you're okay with us getting a divorce?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be? You deserve so much better than him.
It's just, I haven't really amounted to much in my life. I've just been a stay-at-home mom and wife. Aren't you embarrassed for your friends to know that?
No, of course not. Being a mom is hard, and as for not accomplishing much, hello, I'm here. You raised me, and I, for one, am incredibly grateful.
Yeah, I guess so.
Besides, you can put your mind to whatever you want, and I know you'll be successful in whatever endeavor you choose to do. You're my mom after all.
You don't think I'm too old to make something of myself?
Not at all. And if Dad said you were, then just ignore him. 99% of the things that come out of his mouth are nonsense anyway.
Thank you, sweetheart. It's nice to know someone supports me.
Hey, you look out for me and I look out for you.
Definitely. Just you watch. I'll do something amazing.
I believe in you all the way, Mom. Hey, Rachel. It's been quite a while since we last spoke. How are you?
Rick,
Yeah, it's me.
what do you want?
What? Can a husband check in with his wife and see how she's doing?
Ex-wife.
Yes. Well, that's not important. I think maybe we should meet up and have a drink or coffee. Maybe we could finally work on sorting our relationship out.
What relationship? You burned that bridge quite a while ago. Wait, let me guess. You want to try and get on my good side because you've heard all about how I've started a business and it's going great?
What? No, I would never do something like that.
Right.
In fact, I've been feeling quite down lately.
And why's that?
Well, my girlfriend left me. As soon as I didn't have enough money to pay for what she wanted, she left me. But not before taking me for almost every penny I had. Not at all like you. She wasn't half as kind and caring and considerate. And with how much you're earning now, we could live quite a happy life together. What do you say? You want to give our relationship another shot?
Not at all.
What?
You heard me. Now that I'm finally free of a lazy, condescending, and mean-spirited person like you, why on earth would I want to put myself through that torture again?
But...
Not to mention that I'm enjoying my life as it is. After you said all those hurtful things about me not being able to amount to anything, I decided that I wanted to prove you wrong. And as you can see, I've managed to build up my very own company, and it's a massive hit. I'm earning quite a lot, and it's only going to grow. Why would I want to trade that in for a man who would have rather belittled me than help raise our son? Oh, and by the way, Thomas is settling in nicely to college, if you even care. Well, now that I've said what I needed to say, I'm going to get going. I'm a very busy and important woman after all.
Wait, what about me? What'll I do? I've got some huge debts that my girlfriend ran up, so if you could just spare me a bit of money.
That's definitely not happening. If you don't like the fact that you haven't got any money, then maybe you should try and amount to something else. As for us, I don't want to hear from you ever again, in all honesty. Leaving me was the best decision you ever made. Thank you.
But...
Sorry, but it seems you're in the find out stage of your actions. It turned out that all I really needed to do to build a life for myself was to get rid of you.
But I'm your husband. You should listen to me. I should be given half the money due to all the money that I had to spend when we were together. You were nothing but a stay-at-home mom.
You hardly spent anything. You might have kept a roof over our heads, but aside from that, you weren't a part of my life or Thomas's at all. You never spent any time with us at all, and you always belittled us and talked down to us when you did decide to grace us with your presence.
Well, work stress was getting to me, and dealing with a family on top of that was stressful too.
Sure. Well, you don't need to worry about me or Thomas stressing you out ever again.
Hang on, let's talk about this.
No thanks. You've done enough. Now I need to get on with my life. I divorced Rick like I said I would. Once I was free of him, I was able to expand my business, and it is doing amazingly well. And even though Rick claimed that I couldn't do anything, I was more than happy to prove him wrong.